It's been a minute since I've talked about Xbox on my channel, and while I have taken the stance that I'm really not going to spend time bashing Xbox, particularly with some of their really goofy decisions, I feel like I have to at least do my due diligence as a gamer to weigh in on some of the concerns that I have with the Republic of Gamer Xbox Ally and the Ally X, specifically because I don't think it does what people think it's going to do. And I feel like this is one of those instances where marketing kind of got ahead of the tech. Allow me to explain. All right, so what you're looking at here is just the Best Buy storefront page of the Xbox Ally and Ally X. It's a tough pill to swallow. These are very, very expensive, and they serve the handheld gaming market that is primarily dominated by, at least on the PC side of things, the Steam Deck. And on the console side of things, the PlayStation Portal. I'm just kidding. The Nintendo Switch too. Or probably the vanilla Switch, honestly, but Nintendo for sure. The idea is that streaming games doesn't need to be an issue with something like this because the game and the processing and the graphics and your save file and everything is on the device. So if you're in an airplane or you're in a place with limited internet connectivity or poor internet connectivity or no internet connectivity, like me half the time for my job, well, okay, you're going to take this with you, turn it on, and it's all self-contained. This is an original concept. Like I said, Steam's been doing this for a long time. Nintendo's been doing this for like 9 years. But there is a market for that. And obviously, when you start to get into higher end tech, better graphics, higher processing, I'm talking like cyberpunk type levels of processing. When you get into that kind of stuff, well, you know what? You're going to need a beefy machine to do it. And that's why you're seeing some of these specs of 120 hertz and, ultra high refresh rate, big monitors, better graphics, more memory, right? These just kind of standard things. They got two flavors here, a cheaper one and a more expensive one. Obviously has the Xbox wrapper on it. And of course, the logo, and this is what I'm taking contention to in this video, this is an Xbox, is really a misnomer. Xbox is a company right now that is very fragmented on what the experience is. Unless you are a Game Pass subscriber. If you're a Game Pass subscriber to the Ultimate Game Pass, everything just works. Which is, I know what they're funneling. This is why they did this. They want you to buy that. Pay us a set dollar amount a month, and you will have access to either stream or download a massive catalog of games. This massive catalog of games can be played on your Xbox traditional game console. It can be played on your Windows-based PC, and now it can be played on your Windows-based portable device. However, if you're like me and you are a traditional console gamer, and most of your games are on the console side of things, and you have the plastic green case that says Xbox across the top, this is not going to give you access to that library. So the hashtag play all your games, I know what they're trying to do here. They're saying, listen, this will work with Xbox and their ecosystem. This will work with Steam and their ecosystem. This is a Windows-based computer. It will work with anything. It'll work with the Ubisoft launcher. It'll work with the EA launcher. They even still have an EA launcher. This will work with Battle.net. This will work with Epic Games launcher, good old games. You name it. If it runs on a computer, that's what this is. It's a computer, and it will work. But it doesn't play all your games. It plays all your PC games. It doesn't play your console games. So unless you have games that support both, like a license that you bought, a digital license that you bought that gives you access to both, you're really kind of divorcing yourself from the console experience at this point. Yes, it's still under the Xbox ecosphere. Yes, you're still getting all the access of what Xbox can offer, their game services, their stores, their discounts, the friends list, the trophy, achievements, whatever, right? You're getting all of that. That's all wrapped into this experience. But you're missing out on the console part that put Xbox on the map to begin with. That's what I don't like. And I think this is so misleading, and they keep showing it over and over and over. By the way, I love that Vampire Survivors and Balatro are on the cover page. Two of the best games ever. Wes, I love you and hate you for getting me hooked on Vampire Survivors. Balatro is amazing. I don't know why Gears Tactics is on there. That's sad. But play all your games is not true. I mean, it does say it here in kind of a subtext. Full access of your PC games. But what Xbox has effectively done is they have, with this product, definitively put a line in the sand and said, we are basically abandoning the console war and the console world in favor of this. So if you're like me and you've been playing Xbox since the beginning, and you have a massive IKEA bookshelf of hundreds and hundreds of your favorite games, dating back to Xbox 360, back to the OG Xbox One Fat, right? The old school one. And you have a physical disc of Halo on in your green, lime green, Xbox green. You open it up and there's your Halo disc. You can't play it here. It doesn't work. So that's not true. And that's frustrating me. Now, I know they're hyping it up for the storefront side, but it's very misleading. So they're hyping up the Xbox Play Anywhere. That's sort of true. It's been confirmed, and as I suspected, Windows 11 is a pretty power-hungry computer, and a portable version of Windows 11 is a pretty power-hungry. But because you're running basically just an instanced version of the Xbox launcher on a Windows 11 computer, you're not getting the true Play Anywhere quick resume that you did on the console, because Windows 11 is doing all these other things in the background. It's doing drivers updates. It's doing console updates. It's doing patches. It doesn't work that seamlessly. So the idea that you just turn it off, turn it on, and it just works, that's not true. The performance will suffer. It will take time. If you don't believe me, take your home computer right now and put it in standby. Go to your little Windows button at the bottom, go to start, and then when you go to, instead of shutdown, do like rest mode or do standby. And guess what's going to happen when you turn it back on? It's going to take 5 minutes. It's going to boot up. It's going to think about it for a minute. It's not seamless. And the fact that they keep talking about this and hyping the seamlessness, it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating, and it bothers me, and it makes me feel sad, because I think people are going to buy this thinking it's console ecosphere friendly, and it's not. It's not. Technical stuff aside, performance aside, price aside, just be careful. Just be careful if you're into this. I will say this, and I'll close with this. I don't recommend this product. And it has nothing to do with the technical specs of it, although I think they're lacking. And based on the benchmarks I've already seen from other people, like Austin Evans, for example, kind of deep dive this and run it against its paces, I got to admit, it's not blowing games out of the water. This will never be upgraded. This is not future-proof tech. What this is, it's a snapshot in time of the hardware you have. I don't recommend it, partially because of the fact that I think the hardware is lacking, even on the Ally X. I don't recommend it because I think Microsoft is going through a massive identity crisis, and I don't think sinking money into their ecosystem is wise because it's so volatile and turbulent. That's what worries me. The Microsoft that we knew 3 years ago is not the same Microsoft as today. And based on the price increases and based on the mixed messages and based on kind of what that company is going through right now, I don't know if this is going to be another PlayStation VR 2 type thing where you sink money into something of the promise of a brighter tomorrow and it doesn't get delivered. Or a Virtual Boy that is a fringe piece of technology that doesn't take off. I think it releases, like 10 games and then it shuts down. So be careful. This is a lot of money to spend. If you really are interested in mobile gaming, mobile PC gaming, take the safe bet right now. Go buy a Steam Deck. Invest fully in the Steam ecosystem. And maybe over time, if Microsoft gets their act together, then maybe look at like the Ally X2, because I know they're going to release some updated one in a year or two. Once they work out the kinks, Once they kind of figured out the bloat that Windows 11 has, that can make it more of a streamlined computer that's going to give you all the processing power for your game and not all the background stuff. But don't be an early adopter in this. I think you're going to regret it. And I wanted to put this video out there. I know a lot of other people have already been kind of bashing on Xbox in their own way. And I know that I am too in some degree, but just be careful. I really want to make sure that gamers are informed by what's going on and the limitations of this system and the walls you're putting up from what you had versus what you're going to get. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.